In the course of their duties, law enforcement officers are confronted with crisis situations involving persons with mental illness. Often these situations involve behavior that could be taken for criminal activity. But instead, they are the result of a mentally ill person reaching crisis state because they are off their medication, or they're not being treated for their condition, or their condition has not yet been diagnosed. If the responding officers do not understand the reality of the situation, their response could result in serious and unnecessary consequences: altercation, arrest, incarceration, even physical injury or death. On the other hand, if officers are trained to recognize and understand the nature of such crisis situations, it is more likely that the result will be safe and positive for everyone involved.
Due to the initiative put forth in building the CIT coalition, not just amongst the police department and the sheriff's department, but with the Office of Mental Health, Department of Health and Hospitals, Lake Charles Memorial Hospital, NAMI, and other community groups, we started bringing down these walls and these barriers over the 2 years before we actually had our first class.
And when we're out on the street and we see somebody who's obviously has emotional problems, that we bring them to a facility that they can be treated as opposed to going to jail.
But look at the benefits. Look what we get out of it. We get better trained officers. We get officers with more compassion and more understanding about mental illness and issues that do concern our community every day.
You look at some of these patrol officers who are veteran guys and tough street guys, and they go through this program because they're the ones out on the street dealing with these emotionally disturbed people, and they want to learn. They want to be able to handle this properly.
They now understand that there's nothing wrong with a little bit of compassion, and they also have a good understanding of you don't have to arrest them and put them in jail. There is another alternative. Instead of arresting them and put them in jail, take them to the hospital, let's have them evaluated. If they need to be admitted, the hospital and the doctors will take care of that.
But when I see these old weathered salts, these 20-year veterans that I figured would be coming to this thing dragging, now when they go out on a call, they're the first ones to call for a CIT officer.
I think that any police department, any police executive who doesn't at least explore the possibility of training their officers in the CIT program is missing a great opportunity.
As in every part of the nation, Southwest Louisiana has seen confrontations between law officers and mentally ill persons that have had tragic results. To prepare officers for these situations, Southwest Louisiana law enforcement and mental health agencies, in collaboration with McNeese State University, have worked together to teach safe, appropriate, proactive responses to crisis situations involving persons with mental illness. This program, known as the Southwest Louisiana Crisis Intervention Team, or CIT, trains officers to recognize the signs and symptoms of mental illness, how to interact safely and effectively with persons in crisis, how to defuse a crisis situation, and how to connect the person with the appropriate treatment facility. The voluntary training teaches officers about mental illness and other brain disorders, medication used to treat mental conditions, factors that lead to crisis, listening and response techniques, nonviolent intervention methods, and legal issues related to mental illness. Mental illnesses include schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder, bipolar disorder, depression, obsessive-compulsive disorder, panic and severe anxiety attacks, and post-traumatic stress disorder. These disorders can be treated and managed, and persons with them can live normal lives. But at times, a person with one of these disorders can reach a crisis state and cause a disturbance when patrol officers are called in. CIT prepares officers to de-escalate such a situation, using effective human relations techniques to deal with the person who is agitated, aggressive, or suicidal. An officer's CIT training teaches the knowledge, techniques, and methods to use in a crisis. The officer must bring the other essential ingredients: compassion and empathy for a human being in trouble.
81, I need you to be en route to the 4100 block of Ryan Street, 4100 block of Ryan Street in front of Kaufman Hall on McNeese campus. Assist McNeese PD with a white male they believe to be bipolar. Subject's acting strange and appears to be agitated.
Dude, I don't see why you need to take my keys. I told you all that stuff I needed to get done. I gotta keep going. I gotta get my math test done. And then after the team, I gotta go to get history. I need my keys.
Wait, look,
I told you I need my keys so I can get out and get this stuff done. If I don't get it done, no one's gonna get it done. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I have to be able to do this. I didn't even have time to grab my medicine. I've been off it for like a couple of weeks and now, I don't know how many times, because I don't have time to go over to the doctor. Let's call the doctor and tell him, oh, well, you gotta come at this time, but I don't have that time, because at that time I'm doing something else. I gotta go, I gotta get his card fixed.
Sit down.
No, I gotta do something else. I gotta get that done.
Help here, Jason. We got some help here.
You didn't need to call the cops.
What happened here?
Well, this is my friend Jason, and we were getting out of class, and I noticed he was pretty agitated. I know Jason takes some medication. I'm not sure exactly what it's for, but he's very agitated.
Here's how a CIT officer is trained to deal with a call.
Hey, Jason.
The CIT officer calls the person in crisis by name.
I get it done because he has my keys. I can't even get the keys to get that done.
Looks like you got a lot on your plate, man. Is there something I can do to help you out? Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you out, man.
Notice the CIT officer uses I statements to convey that he is listening, he empathizes, and he cares.
I mean, I've been told that I need to try to get my medicine, but I can't even get over there. And I need.
I'll tell you what. Let's calm down, Jason. Calm down. Listen to me. He said something about medicine. Let's do that step first. Let's do that step. What can I do to help get your medicine?
He restates the person's concerns, showing that he is listening and understands.
I'm not really sure because I have to call the doctor. I don't even know if he's in the.
The CIT officer stays calm and focused, and continues to attempt to resolve the situation without a confrontation.
His officers are already the prescription ordered in yet or not? Okay.
Hey, I'm here for you, man. I'm here to help you out. All right.
This isn't like anything I can really go to jail for. I mean,
You haven't done nothing wrong, man. You're just trying to do some shopping, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell him. That's why I need my keys.
I understand.
Here, the CIT officer reflects the person's feelings in an attempt to comfort him or her.
I understand. So I'll tell you what. Why not take you to the doc, okay?
Yeah, we can go do that.
And
Yeah,
my partner will call your mom. Yeah.
That's taken care of.
And that's two
And
things
he's gonna
at
be calling.
once.
Yes, he's gonna be calling my mom, and
I'll
I
tell
can
you
get
what.
that done.
Why don't you tell me what you want mom to buy at the store
Uh,
for you?
I'm
That
gonna
way
need-
we can get you taken care of.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get some potatoes. And some onions on it. Okay.
Once the situation is under control, it is the objective of the CIT officer to get the person into the proper setting for observation, treatment, and follow-up by medical and mental health professionals. It is important for officers to know the area facilities that receive and treat mentally ill persons in crisis. How likely is it that a patrol officer will encounter a situation with a mentally ill person? It's estimated that there are as many as 15 million persons with mental disorders in the United States. Because many of these persons are not in control of their disorder, the likelihood of a crisis situation is greater than in the general population. It's easy to see how some of these persons could be arrested and incarcerated for behavior that could be mistaken for intentional criminal activity. When an officer can recognize mental illness and is trained to deal with it, and when the officer knows about alternatives to incarceration, it's much less likely that the situation will escalate to the point of altercation, arrest, incarceration, and dangers to the officer, the subject, and the community are averted. Not every crisis situation has a happy ending, no matter how hard the officer tries. But crisis intervention training increases the odds for a positive outcome. The benefits of the CIT program are extended to the community. CIT officers educate the public about mental illness and conduct training for clergy and other groups who might become involved in a crisis situation. Southwest Louisiana CIT training continues to prepare more officers to handle incidents involving persons with mental illness. More and more, knowledge and understanding are increasing the chances that a person receives the proper treatment, rather than incarceration following a crisis situation.